Well, how y'all doing? Lord of mercy, it's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home, the Sticks. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you're having a show enough good start to a new week, and I hope everything's good with you. But over here in East Central Mississippi, I'm here to tell you it is hot. We're touching about 95 degrees right now with a bunch of humidity. Ain't even made dinner time yet. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you return and just see what old Dan's got going on over her, I sure enough thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is, Lord of mercy, we're going to talk about some hand loading stuff today, specifically the little cartridge that does. So give me a second, and that's what we finna talks about. Okay, Dan, what? All right, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about a cartridge that has been termed the little cartridge that does. And this cartridge is the wildly mystifying 277 Wolverine. Okay, Dan, 277 Wolverine, what is so mystifying about it? Well, I'm going to tell you, it is an interesting cartridge to say the least. I have a 10.5-inch 277 Wolverine built on the AR platform, and I'm here to tell you this thing is a beast. Okay, Dan, that 277 Wolverine is a beast. What do you mean? Well, I'm going to tell you, for predator control, especially over here, because I have a lot of wild dogs, coyotes, foxes, things of that nature, that Wolverine is an excellent choice for taking care of those predators at the, let's just say 200, 250 if you're really good, maybe 300 yard range, and it's highly effective. I did shoot a buddy of mine's Wolverine. He has a 16-inch Wolverine, and I shot it a few times, and it is a really nice shooting round. Not that much recoil, and it's highly accurate if you do your part. With all of that being said, the 277 Wolverine or the 277 WLV or the 6.8 by 39 millimeter cartridge is a Wildcat cartridge. Okay, Dan, what is a Wildcat cartridge? In a nutshell, a Wildcat cartridge is a custom-made cartridge that is the ammo or the weapon itself is not mass produced. So it falls into the Wildcat category. Okay, Dan, who even thought about or created the 277 Wolverine cartridge? Well, a company called Mad Dog Weapon Systems came out with this cartridge in, I want to say, June of 2015. That's when they put out some detailed schematics of the chamber and also the headspace gauge for everybody to look at. Now, this Wolverine cartridge has its ups and its downs. The ups is it's a phenomenal cartridge with low recoil. We're going to take a look at it here in a second. It works off of a parent case that's the parent case of several other caliber cartridges. And on the downside of it, the Wolverine cartridge is not SAAMI approved. Now, when I say SAAMI, SAAMI is the Sporting Arms and Ammunition Manufacturers Institute. Now, SAAMI was founded in 1926 at the request of the federal government. And the reason why is SAAMI provides a lot of good information on maximum pressure, maximum pressures, chamber dimensions, cartridge dimensions, and other guidelines that the commercial world can follow to create a safe product for us, the consumer, to shoot. So if you see any ammunition on the shelf and you do your research on it, I guarantee you it's going to be SAAMI approved ammunition. It's going to be safe for the consumer or the person that's into the shooting sports. It's going to be safe for them to shoot. So the next question is probably going to be, well, why isn't the 277 WLV SAAMI approved? According to all of the research that I've done, it cost a lot of money and equipment to have this cartridge brought before SAAMI. And when I say brought before, a company, a big company, like, I don't know, Remington, 6R, something like that, a company like that, would have to bring this cartridge before SAAMI and let them look at the cartridge, and if they're good to go, it becomes SAMI approved. So it costs a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a lot of equipment just to get this cartridge brought before SAMI. So enough about that. We're going to spin around, we're going to take a look at this cartridge, we're going to bump gums a little bit more about it, and yeah, that's what we finna do that. All right, for reference, this right here, this cartridge here is the 223 Remington. The next one is the 277 Wolverine, and the next one is going to be the 300 AAC Blackout. Now the interesting thing to note is these two cartridges right here can be created off of this case, which is the parent case, the 223 Remington. So that's a big plus as far as the 277 Wolverine, is because it can be made from some readily available, it's all over the place, this stuff right here, or this case right here, which is the 223 Remington. This can be made out of this using these dies right here, which I am going to tell you, the dies are even hard to find, and if you can find them, they're extremely expensive. These dies run about $100 a set online. I mean, it's crazy if you can find them. The 277 Wolverine is considered to be a multi-purpose mid-power cartridge with increased ballistics performance over the traditional 223 Remington. And the reason that is so is because of the case volume. 277 Wolverine actually holds a smaller propellant charge, which makes it more efficient, and it has less recoil over this guy right here. And there's a lot of differences between the 223 Remington and the Wolverine, and the most noticeable is going to be the shoulder. The shoulder is, if I'm not mistaken, at a 23-degree angle. Yeah, it's an interesting cartridge. Okay, let's talk about some other pros on the Wolverine cartridge. The only thing that you have to change on your AR platform weapon system is the barrel. If you have a 5.56 bolt BCG, that'll work with this 277 Wolverine cartridge. So in essence, the only thing you need to change is the barrel. And the barrels come in several different lengths. I have a 10.5, there's a 16, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a 18-inch barrel. Now speaking, and we just talked about it, as far as the parent cases, the only thing that you need to create this is this, a set of dies and a chop saw, and you can create your own 277 Wolverine brass. And this is a small rifle primer casing as well. Let's talk about ballistics briefly on the 277 Wolverine. It's comparable to the 6.8 SPC, especially if you're using a 110 grain projectile, which this is what that is right here. You can achieve similar muzzle velocities. This Wolverine cartridge will run out 2,500 feet per second versus, I don't have a 6.8 SPC cartridge, but if I did, it would be running 2,700 feet per second, probably out of a 16-inch barrel. Now, the smaller case of the Wolverine compared to the 6.8 SPC round is more efficient. Why? Because it has less recoil, and that's due to a smaller propellant charge, which is inside this case. So for this being what it is a lot more efficient. Okay, I just touched on components, specifically brass for this caliber. The interesting thing about it is, in I think it was October 2017, Starline, the company Starline, produced about 50,000 pieces of brass, newly manufactured brass that was stamped 277 WLV for Mad Dog weapon systems. And the cool thing about it, and interestingly enough, all of those cases were sold out in under 72 hours of being posted up for sale. That is just crazy. So this is a popular cartridge, but the downside, it's not SAMI approved. So you can't find this ammunition anywhere on the shelves. You might be able to find it online somewhere, I'm not really sure, but you're just not going to find it on the shelves. And you're probably not going to find very many weapon systems on the shelves either for this caliber. until it becomes SAMI approved. Another thing I want to touch on is reloading data for the Wolverine cartridge. You could find it online. This is something that I printed off of MDWS's website, and this is a bunch of reloading data here. And again, this is not published data. I have to put my glasses and get a magnifying glass on to read this stuff. But this is broke down by barrel length and propellant as well as projectile. And this was derived from the folks that shoot the 277 Wolverine. And they were kind enough to put up the information or their recipes, if you will, online for other folks to look at. Now again, this isn't published data. So got to be careful with it, because they may be doing something different than what you're doing and vice versa, and you don't want to have a oopsie. So yeah, got to be careful with stuff like this. So I'm going to tell you in a nutshell, I am fascinated by the 277 Wolverine cartridge. I have my rifle. I'm henpecking on what kind of glass I want to put on it, because I really want to use it to take care of some of the predators, especially at night. I even go over to a buddy of mine's hunting camp in the next county over. He's got thousands of coyotes over there that are just tearing up stuff over there. So I'm really anxious to get out there and try this weapon system out. Now, as far as hand loading for it, yes, I'm going to start hand loading for it. I have most of the components that I need to get that cartridge loaded up. I have some load data that I can look at. And again, don't go off of anything that you see online. You want to go off of published reloading data, possibly from the powder that you're using. More than likely, that company is going to have reloading data for all of the cartridges that powder can be used for. So you need to be really careful when you're working up hand loads for anything. And that's what I'm going to do. Well, all right, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Lord of mercy, a little bum gumping session on a truly fascinating cartridge that I'm going to start hand loading for, and that's the 277 WLV or Wolverine. The biggest reason that I want to try to use this cartridge is mainly for predators and varmint hunting. So we're going to see what happens, and come time, once I get everything situated, yeah, we're going to do some hand loading. Of course, I'm going to bring you and y'all along with me. So again, I hope everybody's having a show enough good start to a new week. And Lord mercy, stay safe, because yeah, those threats are still out there. If you like this video, go and give it a thumbs up. They help. You haven't subscribed to the Home of Six channel, Lord of mercy, y'all need to come on over and give it a damn look, because I'm always doing stuff like starting to do some hand loading stuff again. With that being said, you know what's coming. Dan Referee show enough. Always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You sure enough get your shine on. Be you. It's important. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.